Hello and welcome to another episode of my KTM Duke 250. I had bought this aftermarket radiator guard from China, which cost 75 ringgit Malaysia or roughly 17 US dollar after conversion, to replace my existing stock radiator guard on my bike, as I noticed the stock radiator guard is restricting some of the air flowing through the radiator. But looking from the front, I can see all these fins on the stock radiator guard are blocking some cold air coming from the front. By theory, airstream is very straightforward and it will not bend forever following the angle of the fins. And once there is nothing blocking it, the air will flow the opposite against the bike traveling direction. This is causing some part on the radiator is not getting cold by the flowing air as it is blocked by these fins. And the area on the radiator behind this radiator guard here that is exposed to coming air is about 70% or 60% more or less, and this will tremendously reduce the cooling efficiency on my bike. This new aftermarket radiator guard, however, is made from some mesh steel and doesn't have as many shapes and patterns as the stock radiator guard did, so I sense this one could be more effectively reduce the cooling temperature on the radiator. Maybe, I don't know, but let's give it a try. And the inside grille is hooked up to the outer frame here, which is made from stainless steel, and it is a bit heavy than the stock radiator guard. A normal operating temperature for liquid cooled engine is around 80 degrees Celsius, but my KTM Duke 250 is running hotter than that. And commonly, KTM engine is prone to overheat due to its high compression ratio 12.5 to 1. The temperature level on my bike meter always floating around the top end, almost 2 to 3 bars left to reach overheat level when the engine is running. And during every time when I stop my bike, the fan will spin to cool down the radiator. But the situation will get different from when I'm riding under raining condition, where the temperature gauge was able to drop until the middle part, and it can drop to as low as 3 to 4 bars when running on extremely heavy rain. So in this episode, I'm working on a project to reduce the temperature on my engine with some experiment by using this digital thermometer, and then I will collect some data to show the result before and after changing to aftermarket radiator guard. I had bought this also from an online selling apps, ordered also from China with a total cost of less than 10 ringgit. Including delivery charge, where I found this to be a very bargaining item. There is this probe, which appears to be the temperature sensor, and I will mount this on the right side of the radiator by referring to the cooling system section on my manual booklet, where the coolant circulation is out from the engine into the right side on the radiator here, and then out from on the left side on the radiator back into the engine. Okay, the purpose I'm mounting this probe on the right side because I can measure how effectively the air is cooling the coolant coming out from the radiator. And why am I doing all of this? Because I find the engine can generate slightly more power running with cooler temperature. In order not to adversely impact by other irrelevant temperature, I will hide this sensor away from the cool wind and wind water exposure so to minimize the effect to the final result. I'm now stopping beside this highway to let my engine cool down, and I've been sitting here for about half an hour, which is enough to let the coolant temperature drop. Here I'm going to explain a little bit about the step-by-step method of my temperature test. At first, I will be cruising along this highway at a constant speed of around 100 kilometers an hour. And after 5 minutes, I will be taking the first reading on my radiator temperature when I'm cruising. And then I will stop at some point just beside somewhere in the highway, and I will take the second reading at exactly 1 minute after I stop. And after that, I will monitor how long is the time required for the radiator fan to start spin, and I will take the third reading at the highest temperature point. Now the temperature on the radiator is at 41.1 degrees Celsius. Okay, and at last I will change the radiator guard, come back here, repeat the same step at the same location. Okay, so let's go. Okay, stop counting. Okay, 5 minutes have passed, and the temperature now is at 47.3 degrees Celsius. Okay, and now stopping and start counting. 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 1 minute, and the temperature is now at 54.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, radiator started to spin at 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and the highest temperature reached is about just now is at 85 degrees Celsius. Okay, I've changed to this aftermarket radiator guard, and let's test if this one is really better. Okay, 5 minutes passed, and the temperature is now at 43.3. Okay, start counting. Okay, 1 minute. Temperature is 60.4 degrees Celsius. Okay, now fan start to spin at 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and the temperature reached to 85 degrees Celsius. This is the result obtained. The radiator temperature is at 37.3 degrees Celsius with stock radiator guard when cruising at 100 kilometers an hour, while it reached 43.2 degrees Celsius with aftermarket radiator guard. After 1 minute stopping, the stock temperature is 54.5 compared to aftermarket 60.4, and the fan start to spin at 2 minutes and 45 seconds with the stock with temperature reached to 85 degrees Celsius compared to aftermarket, where the fan start to spin at 3 minutes and 5 seconds with the temperature reached to the same 85 degrees Celsius. By looking at the result, I can see that the aftermarket radiator guard failed to decrease the temperature, although it has a simple design to provide maximum airflow into the radiator. And after 1 week using the aftermarket, I personally feel that the engine did operate hotter, and the temperature gauge also show higher level compared to stock radiator guard. I think I would change back to the old stock radiator guard. A follow-up to the previous funnel drive explain video, I've reversed my rear sprocket from 45 to 46 to achieve more torque, as I feel the bike is a bit sluggish with the new setting. For more of the details, please click on the video, and we have reached the end of this episode. I hope you did really enjoy watching it. Do me a favor by clicking on the like button, and if you have anything to say, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section below. Till then, thanks for watching and ride safely.